On November 3, 1992, President Bill Clinton was elected into office. Throughout his presidency, he accomplished many things and was known for turning a $290 billion deficit into a $237 billion surplus. Because of this, the nation began yet another economically prosperous era. However, even with all these successes, there was a very dark side to his presidency. One event that showcased this to the public was in 1994 when Paula Jones sued President Clinton for sexual harassment. Jones stated that prior to Clinton's presidency in 1991, he tried to have an inappropriate relationship with her by trying to seduce her. As a result of this, on May 6, 1994, Jones filed a civil lawsuit against Clinton asking for $700,000 along with the personal apology from Clinton. Clinton avoided this by claiming that he should be more focused on government work and fixing problems he was elected to solve.
We're very pleased we reached a settlement. The president does not want to spend one more minute on this matter. The American people have made it very, very clear that they want the president and they want Congress to spend their time on the problems they were elected to solve.
This statement was made by Clinton's lawyer, Robert Bennett, who was speaking on the president's behalf. After the statement was made, the Jones case went silent. However, another scandal arose. This scandal was the president's affair with Monica Lewinsky, who was a 21-year-old intern at the White House. Their affair began in November of 1995, and 1 year after their relationship started, Lewinsky was transferred to work in the Pentagon. Here she became friends with Linda Tripp and told her of her relationship with the president. However, in 1997, Tripp began secretly recording her conversations with Lewinsky and later presented these recordings to her lawyer. Quickly, word spread around to many lawyers and politicians, one of whom was Paula Jones, who was not yet pleased with how her case against the president had gone. She decided this would be useful for her case, and in December of 1997, lawyers for Paula Jones subpoenaed Lewinsky. In addition, there was a deposition done on Clinton where he denied, under oath, that he had had any sexual relations with Lewinsky. 4 days later, on January 21, 1998, news organizations reported on the alleged affair where Clinton denied the allegations a second time.
But I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. I never told anybody to lie, not a single time, never. These allegations are false, and I need to go back to work for the American people. Thank you.
This was very important for Jones in the case, as she was able to create a lot of suspicion and speculations on the president's honesty. However, on January 29th, the judge in the Paula Jones case ruled that Monica Lewinsky was irrelevant to the case and ordered that all the evidence related to Lewinsky be excluded from the case. Now that the Lewinsky scandal was separated from the Jones case, the case went quiet and it was even dismissed a couple months later. Now the focus was on whether Clinton had actually had any sexual relations with Miss Lewinsky, and people started to question Clinton's validity. Months later, on March 5th, Lewinsky and her lawyers battled with investigators in order to work out the full immunity agreement in return for a testimony from Lewinsky. They were able to arrange this, and on August 6th, Lewinsky appeared before the grand jury and began her testimony. Here she revealed to the jury that of her inappropriate relationship with the president, but she also stated that Clinton never told her to lie. This would become very important in the president's impeachment trial. After Lewinsky's testimony on August 17th, President Clinton voluntarily came forth and gave his testimony before the grand jury. Here he acknowledged to the grand jury that he had had an extramarital affair with Miss Lewinsky. In addition, Clinton gave a televised speech admitting that he had given misleading answers in the Jones deposition nearly 6 months ago. With Clinton's testimony and his address to the nation, the truth was finally uncovered and there was enough evidence compiled in order to begin an impeachment trial. The first step in this impeachment trial was for the House of Representatives to vote on which impeachment articles the president has broken. and they send these charges to the Senate. These impeachment articles are perjury, obstruction of justice, treason, bribery, and other high crimes. In Clinton's case, the House voted that he obstructed justice and committed perjury before the grand jury. These charges were sent to the Senate, where they voted on whether or not Clinton was guilty. In order for the president to be kicked out of office, 2/3 of the votes in the Senate must vote guilty of the charges. Clinton's presidency was saved as he was found not guilty by the Senate. This had a very big impact on the rest of his presidential term. Clinton became very quiet and did not make many movements. This is probably because he did not want to get involved with another scandal nor another conflict of any sort. The impeachment of President Clinton also had a great impact on the public's view of the government and the amount of information they attained. As the scandals unfolded, news organizations became much more involved and they became the public's main source of information. With the scandals released, many people were stunned because they did not expect President Clinton to have such a dark private life. They were especially surprised because all throughout his presidency, he had been so successful as he had completely changed the American economy. Furthermore, since President Clinton's impeachment, the news has become the public's main source of information. Today, the news covers a lot of the president's private life. Some would even argue a little too much. This concept began after the scandals were uncovered because news organizations realized that the people wanted to be informed. Because of their contributions, we the people are now more informed and are not blind to what our elected leaders do behind closed doors. The impeachment of President Clinton forever changed the public's view of their government.